future FMCG will no more be linear, it will be non-linear. And the way I define it becomes an ecosystem. And how you need to operate this is a consumer ecosystem to start with, a customer ecosystem, because these are the two primary things that we serve. There's an operations ecosystem that becomes the backbone for FMCG. And connecting all of these three ecosystems at the center is data and analytics. And that's how the whole FMCG is non-linear. So let me explain what I mean by that. So if you look at consumer ecosystem, you actually now have the ability to really get real-time consumer signal. And once you get real-time consumer signal, you can design and collaborate and create innovation. You can actually have platforms that can zero. Customer ecosystem is all about how we really capture demand, generate demand, and fulfill. And then your operation is the whole source, plan, make, and fulfillment as well. And across this whole ecosystem is a huge amount of data. And that data enables you to really become seamless. Because I can actually see the whole value chain, what's happening, and I can adopt my whole manufacturing and resource planning much more dynamically. So that's how I think the whole FMCG is changing and will continue to change. And from a very linear FMCG that was a competitive advantage, will become a cluster ecosystem that will operate in.
I think Unilever is a big organization. You guys source now hundreds and thousands of raw material. So how did you manage to change that shift so fast?
Firstly, I don't think we are changing fast enough because the technology is changing faster than we can. But the way you need to do it is, in many cases, you need to really define. And the way I look at technology adoption, there are three things that you need to figure out. One is there a consumer or a business problem that you are solving? Second, is the technology giving you a competitive advantage or not? And the third thing is your ability to appropriate a large chunk of value chain, either in top line or bottom line. You must have business out there. Otherwise, it will be a fantastic toy and it doesn't yield anything for the business itself. So the moment you're able to really get this innovation trial and ask people about these, they will be able to really adopt it. So let me give an example. We have digitally connected more than 160,000 trade. Now, when COVID actually came, and we started before COVID, the challenge with COVID was everything was shut down. We didn't know which shops were being open, so we didn't have any signals. But when you actually have 160,000 outlets connected, they were sending us signal because they needed this order. So for us to fulfill them becomes much more easier. Today, we now have the ability to really, image analytics has become very common. So actually, you actually just take a simple picture, and now it actually tells me where am I under index. So I can actually now look at a shelf and figure out where I am under index, and then make sure that these are the outlets where I need to make sure my assortments are available. So huge amount of, and I think it's a game of, FMCG is lots of, because I sell billions of packs, there are lots of data that I get. And the more you're able to leverage and understand, you can always be one up against your competition.
Awesome. Next up to Sonia, you live and breathe technology. You've been working in this field for the last 3 decades, and now you've finally taken up this noble role of helping the next generation of startups. So you've worked with hundreds of startups so far in the last few years. How are you seeing this technology adoption in early stage startups and this young startups shaping up the next billion-dollar economy that this country is going to be, the next billion-dollar economy that this country is going to become?
Thank you, Ivan. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum everyone. So firstly, I think that when we work with startups, we're still at a very nascent stage, right? We have these startups that really don't know the difference between an SME and a startup. And that's how we begin and you've heard me say it many times, but just one more time for the audience, that SMEs are really small businesses that do not aspire to become a billion-dollar business or do not have big dreams. So whenever a startup comes, we say you must have a very big dream. So what we've seen is as the startups we've been mentoring and coaching, they're understanding the need to scale. And the easiest and fastest way to scale is leveraging technology. And then coming back and linking it with the Robi cloud, we have also seen that, and you know this as well, we have 40 startups in our portfolio, and most of them are paying through their credit cards or taking our help to pay for the cloud they use. It's consumption really that matters, right? So as they grow, the consumption grows. I think it couldn't have been a better time for Robi to launch this, because what we can do is, for data sovereignty issues that will be coming up, for I think the government will want all data to be locally hosted, whether it's a fintech or an edtech. So we see that the understanding of how, technology as a service, platform as a service will help startups, and then they can scale faster. Bangladesh is 55,000 square miles, 160 million people. Where's this place to keep your own server? I mean, after a while, you're going to need this space for something else. And the beauty is that right now we have demographic dividend, but by the 2040s, when we lose the demographic dividend, we are going to gain on data dividend. Because the consumption and the embracing technology of users is going to be much more in 20 years. So I'm very excited, and I see that the startups are going to be game changers, specifically with Robi Cloud.
Absolutely. And I've seen many startups suffering for this one particular thing, that they have to actually pay their bills abroad to AWS or Google Cloud. So that has been a critical problem to that. Great. Coming to Amos Bhai has been the president of Basis as well. So we have seen the industry grow. Now, how do you see this ICT industry playing a big role in the nation's dream to become a middle-income country?
Thank you. I think the ICT sector, is actually cross-sector. It is used in every sector, be it healthcare or agriculture or, in the RNG or whatever. So with the proper use of ICT, we can actually enhance our productivity and our efficiency. And that is the secret, really the secret recipe for our advancement towards becoming a middle-income country. I personally think that ICT industry is the right one where the government has set their focus on, because you see, Bangladesh is such a country. Bangladesh does not really have enough, or rather any significant mineral resources. So we have to utilize and make use of the maximum use of that resource. So ICT industry is a knowledge-based industry, and there you do not need any other resources. You just need your intellect, your talent. Suppose, for example, if you want to set up a factory in a 1 acre land, maybe suppose you are generating an income of 1 million taka every month.